Every club is different, but in the asylum, it's the manager. He has a string of homeboys dealing the pucketees to the party people in the club. He makes the most coin out of this enterprise. His homies will make just a couple of quid on each pucker. His homies are also scoping for other dealers on the block. When the homies have an illegitimate pucketee dealer in their website, they tell the bouncers. The bouncers grip him, nab his stash, and kick him out with a physical warning. Gives the pucketees to their homies, and they knock out to the kids in the club. What's your name? What have you had? Reach for the lasers. Safe as fuck.
What an awesome track that is. I can't take credit for it, of course, because it came out of Retro Nerd Girl Studios, the biggest creative studio in America next to Disney, only slightly larger. So tonight's Friday, lots of people going out. Welcome to the Lancy Friday Dating Advice Special, and I've got with me an expert on this subject who's going to give me all kinds of advice on going out and dating. Fantastic to have you here, Retro.
What? No, I'm not. I'm the last person to give out any kind of advice like that. But thanks for the introduction.
Perfect.
Thank you for the introduction. So glad to see you today and hang out with you. Oh my God.
Well, you know, I do need dating advice because I'm out on the dating game again, and I've got to tell you, it's quite nerve-wracking. You know. Pretty nerve-wracking time.
Oh, really? I'm sorry to hear that.
Well, no, I mean, I don't mean in like a really bad way. It's just like, but it's just sort of, I mean, you know, it's kind of, I don't know. It's, well, I don't do dating apps, first of all. I've had enough of them. They've all gone. got rid of all those. They were an absolute nightmare. I'm not saying I didn't meet a couple of nice people on them, but at the same time, you were like navigating this horrible bottomless swamp of like scammers and fake profiles and people with agendas, and oh yeah, it's all kind of it's a bit of a snake bit.
Yeah.
And you don't want to stay in that too long. I don't think.
It can be really tough, especially a lot of the apps. You don't really know if the person who's posting is really who they are. I had somebody use my picture as a profile picture.
Well, you mean that wasn't you that I was writing to?
Yeah, you see.
Yeah.
And yeah, that was pretty awful. And a whole bunch of it's really wild, but in person is great, but how do you meet people in person? It's a good question. And also, if you meet somebody in person, how do you not come off as creepy if you're saying, oh, hey, hi. So it's difficult, I would say.
How do you not come off as creepy, Retro? Give us your tip.
I don't know. No.
Now that I've got someone with your pedigree of expertise in the house.
I do not know how to come out. I don't
Well,
know.
I'd like to think I don't when I'm
I've
out.
got nerd in the middle of my name, so that should tell you.
I think the best thing to do is just like kind of be yourself.
Yeah.
As long as yourself, your normal self is not like extremely creepy.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't worry about it so much anymore. It's not really that important to me right now. So.
Yeah. Well, I got Christmas is coming, winter is coming, so they say. I've been single for 5 years now. That feels like a long time to me. And I'm not sure that I want to be. It's funny. I was talking to a friend of mine, who shall remain nameless, Nikki, and we were chatting about it, and sort of saying, how at this age, it's not like you're looking for someone to kind of move in and share a house with in 5 days, sort of thing.
Yeah.
You're just looking for someone to date, like go on dates with, and kind of like have adventures with, and do stuff.
Oh yeah, and hang out. Yeah. Oh, just wanted to say hi to Darth Plato and Wormy Spoons. Hey guys.
Yeah, so Darth is there.
Hi to everybody in the chat. Oh my goodness.
Dating, get through a broad spectrum of subject matter on this channel. That's right. Well, I'm doing a regular stream on every Thursday at midnight my time. I'm doing late night with Lancey.
Okay.
And last night I had a friend who was in a bit of trouble. And in fact, it's one of the people I know through the clubbing scene. And we did a big stream on mental health last night.
Yes, I saw that. That was fantastic.
Yeah,
it was good job.
It was kind of, I was sort of spurned on to do it by his situation, and he did actually watch it, and yeah, I mean later, not when we were live, but because I think by then he was passed out, but yeah, he was in a better place today, but I think he's still got a ways to go. So everyone's even my friends that are strong and have a lot in their life that most people would consider sort of unobtainable goals, like own a house that's paid off, things like that I can only dream about right now. They still have issues and problems they're dealing with, and they still get overwhelmed at times, and yes, it's difficult. It's difficult. I think the best thing really is, as I said yesterday, is always remind people of their value to you.
Yes.
I think you did that to me once when I was in a bit of a mess, if I remember rightly. So there you go. You've done it.
Yes, I tried.
Well, it obviously worked because I'm still here. So there you are. So proof of the pudding is in the action. Have you seen? because I never get you on the Nielsen ratings where
Okay,
we
yes.
talk
I
about
haven't
stuff
yeah,
that you
yeah.
recommend.
Mhm.
So, have you seen any films that you think we should watch that would help with dating tips? No, just kidding. Have you seen any new films or TV shows that you've liked that you would recommend or you want to just give a shout out
To
to?
be honest, I've been too busy to watch anything lately. I mean, I'm still raving about, um, I guess the last thing I was raving about was, Terminator Zero. Just love that
That was
show.
good.
Oh, so good.
Yeah,
As a Terminator fan and being so um,
di- disappoint
unhappy in the last yeah, disappointed in the
would
last,
be
eon.
yeah.
I'm like,
Since
"Wow,
Terminator
this is
2, basically.
amazing." Yeah, since Terminator 2. Terminator 3 was okay, but
Oh, I
then
I thought it was I
Terminator
thought it was very poor. I'm sorry.
it wasn't. I mean, it wasn't g as good as the other 2, obviously. But I thought, well, okay, if they can actually turn this around and make this better by making a better movie on 4. And well, they switched out John Connor, and so it was like, okay, what's this? And kind of just felt like they were trying to reboot the idea altogether or just change things around, and I didn't
Mhm.
enjoy it.
Well, yeah, one of the things
It's not the worst thing ever, though. Not the worst thing.
one of the things about no comment on that. One of the things about Terminator Zero is if you watch it the first time, you'll probably like a lot of people I found kind of like, oh, I don't know about this. They like 2, 3
Oh
episodes in,
man,
and I have to admit I struggled with it at the beginning because I was
really?
thinking, well, hang on, but I was like, I'm not sure about this. There were some good things, but I was like, ah. But when we got to episode 7,
Yes,
which
yes.
gave everything new context, I thought, now I need to watch this again from the beginning because
Oh,
now
okay.
now I'm going to look at everything completely differently. And
Oh,
actually, it's a show that does that. It's a show that,
yes.
yeah,
You
you
can
watch.
actually watch the other movies and, like, find it more interesting if you think about it in the context of this show, that
Yeah,
it is its own universe that has been created from the manipulation of going back in time and creating new timelines, and so I think episode 1 had me, just like the opening of this thing, I was like, "Okay, I'm sold." Because it gave me a good insight into the creation of the Terminator and all of the different other Terminators there could have been. If we could have been exposed to instead of always showing Arnold as the Terminator,
yeah, no,
which
that's
I
good.
felt that was one of the biggest. That was that was the good part of part 2 that we all loved, right? We loved that about Judgment Day, but they kept doing it, and that's where it got to be like, okay, this is the same song played in a different tune, and
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
and it got boring. It got boring, and and without Arnold, and I love Arnold so very much, we actually have an opportunity to gain new life from this entire franchise now. So
Yeah, I mean, I remember an interview with Sigourney Weaver where she was saying, "Oh, I think we've shown that you can't do an Alien film without Ripley." And I was like, "Yes, of course you absolutely can do an Alien film without Ripley. It's just got to have a good script."
yeah, and
In fact,
what
it
I
would be
would
better if Ripley wasn't in it because that ties you down to certain narratives and really limits the story.
yeah. And
Um,
I would like them to switch out kinda switch the fact that every single time it's a female protagonist,
yeah,
which is it's not a problem, but you've done it, like, so many times, like, give us something fresh. I wouldn't even mind if it was a kid, like a small child or something that was able to, be smart enough to to, um outsmart the aliens, with survival skills and so on and so forth. I mean, just anything that would be different than saying, okay, uh, female character with short hair, she's going to be the one that is going to survive by the end. Know it already. Like she's safe. That character right there is safe. We don't
So,
even need to know anything about the character. We just see her and we know she's safe. That's really boring to me. That's really boring to me.
so
So,
before we change topics, what would you give Terminator Nielsen
oh
ratings out
man,
of 10? What would you give it out of 10?
I'd definitely give it like a 9.4 or 6. Um,
What's
and
what does it come down to for those two sub points there?
well, I want to see it one more time because I really am really loving it. I might even give it a higher score than that. Is it perfect? The more I see it, the more I see where, oh, all of the questions that I have about it is actually answered. Um, because one thing that was really interesting to me was in the beginning, I was like, uh, this Terminator is so devastating. He could have totally killed this, young lady in the very, like the first scene. Um, and it turns out that they were both playing each other for different um, things that they wanted. Like he wanted to get inside of the hive of where all the humans were, and she wanted that thing out of his eye, and a piece of data out of his eye. And
Right.
so it was like a cat and mouse game on both sides. And I was like, oh, see, I'm understanding now. I'm like, okay, why is this Terminator the one you're showing right now? By the way, I love this scene showing all the different kinds of Terminators.
Yeah, this was good.
Oh, I love it, I love it, love it, love it. Um, I was like, why is he not killing all of them? He can clearly kill all of these people, no problem. And once you get to the end and you find out who sent him and why, it's like, oh, okay, he can't kill them because it's in his program not to kill them. That's why he only injures them. Like he's close enough to kill our main baddie girl, but he just crushes her hand. And it's like, I was like, okay, why didn't he just grab her by the throat and do that? But he can't kill her because she's their grandmother. So I was like, oh, okay. It's so great. It's
Well,
so
so
good.
9.5 out of 10, give or take.
Yeah,
So
yeah. So
obviously,
I
if
mean, the
people haven't watched
story's
it, they
pretty
should.
tight. Yeah, the story's pretty tight. And if you go like going back to see it again, you'll be able to tap into all of these different questions and answers, and just the story arcs for these characters. It's so driven. They're so driven and motivated. It's so good. I love that. They didn't there were a couple, like I would say, two characters that don't give you enough. Like they could have gone deeper into those characters, and so maybe that would be um uh my critique of it. Like the two kids, the littlest girl and the littlest boy child, they didn't really get a chance to flourish in the story, and maybe even in the part two or season two. We'll get something like that. But this was great. It was refreshing, and it brought new blood into the franchise. It recontextualized the franchise, and I would be okay if a lot of these franchises just went animated, because it seems like you could do so much more animated than you can live action, as far as this fantasy, like actually playing out this fantasy. So yeah, I'm definitely enjoying Terminator Zero, and I haven't really gone to too many other new things because I'm just trying to work on my channel, and I've got the music thing going on too, so I may be stretched a little thin. So
So I saw something in a shop today that immediately made me think that's the perfect Christmas present for retro. Um, who's your favorite character in Star Trek?
oh, Star Trek is a little tough. I haven't really revisited it in a long time because
Shall we go with
of
original
person.
series?
Okay.
Narrow it down a little bit.
Okay, I'm with Drew. Yes, Spock.
Spock.
Drew, hi, Drew. Yes, I can't. Yeah, I love Spock in the first series. He was fantastic.
I guess my next question, which is going to sound slightly nonsensical, is how do you feel about ducks?
Can about ducks?
Ducks, as in quack.
Ducks.
Ducks that quack.
I don't feel anything for them. I want them to stay in the wild.
You don't think that they're cute?
Um,
Didn't you have a didn't you
Daffy
have a
Duck is
rubber duck
cute.
in the bath when you were a kid?
No, I don't think we couldn't afford it.
Well, Retro, I feel this
We
present
can
is gonna
afford soap
I
and the
feel this
roof over our heads, but no ducks.
I feel this present is gonna fill that void of your childhood because it's a combined Spock and duck combination.
Oh, no, don't do it.
There's even a Borg duck.
Oh, that's cute. Yeah.
Yeah, I did actually say to Jill from Antiderivative Jill, I got to get you this Borg duck. This is the kind of random shit that you see in Camden Market.
Yeah.
And they've got a queue. There's a queue duck here. Uhura, Geordie LaForge. And then there's some more because I took pictures of others. Just just in case these ducks were not enough.
Well, they're definitely interesting, but please do not buy me that.
Basically, what you're saying is, can't save your money. This may end up
Eh,
as a doorstop or something
oh,
similar.
yes.
Well, I don't know. I mean, you might change your mind when you see the fantastic hair on this one. I don't know what this guy is on the far
Oh my
left. He's got
god.
like a huge tash. They actually had a Jaws, like the shark, right? And
This is too much.
I kid you not, the shark had a duck in its mouth, and the duck was holding the gas canister, the one that explodes.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's clever.
Yeah, quite convoluted, but clever. There's Data with his cat, which, I mean, in theory, really should have a duck head. Should be like a cat's body with a miniature duck head.
Yeah.
Right? And he had Deanna Troy with very big hair. So, there you go.
Yeah, this kind of not really my kind of thing. They're
Oh,
like,
I thought you were gonna love this. So,
oh no. Oh no.
well,
I'm actually trying to get a Voltron figure because Voltron, well, I know that the Voltron action live action is coming, which I'm not sure how I feel about that. But I never was able to get the Five Lions set, so I'm saving up for that. I remember seeing other people with that toy and just like salivating, like I wish I could have that.
do you mean like the full size kind of
Yeah, with
Shogun?
the five lions that come together as Voltron, that you can actually like put them together and it forms Voltron.
I don't know if this. Oh well, there's various different versions of this
Yeah,
thing.
that one is like $700.
Oh my god! Well, there's
Yeah.
one for £90 here.
Oh, okay.
Don't know how
Do
this
they
one.
say is it all together or is it separate?
No, I think it's all together, but does
Oh,
look. Oh, maybe not.
no, it's separate. Oh my god.
Nah,
What
there you
what
go.
website is this?
This is Amazon.
Oh. I thought you were gonna tell me some uniques. It's just Amazon. Okay, I can
No,
find that.
it's on
I
Amazon.
can find that. I can
It's,
find that.
it's Amazon UK, so I don't know if
Oh, maybe,
it's available on Amazon.com, but there you
yeah.
go. Voltron.
There is also like a $29 version that's all put together already, and I might get that one. It's like, it's not as expensive and, it's smaller, so that might be the one I get.
I
But
don't feel putting a Voltron toy on my shelf will increase my dating prowess, ladies. I'm not feel this will contribute towards that in a positive way. Crap Siege clips. What a great name. I like sieges in films. Are there crap siege clips? Oh, I suppose there are. Yeah, Rings of Power. Do you know coding? No, I don't know. That's a strange question, isn't it? Isn't that a strange question?
I believe there may have been a discussion privately amongst the chat.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
Could well
Mhm.
be. I mean, I feel like the main discussion is about ducks at the moment.
Okay.
Um, so, oh look, see,
Yeah.
he's here for the dating topic. Can I get some
Oh,
help dating a girl? Fortunately, we've got dating expert Retro Nerd Girl in the chat.
don't listen to him crab siege clips. I don't know. I don't know anything. I have
I am
I
just
have
so
nerd in the middle of my
Retro
name.
doesn't shout at me later. I am joking. That's not why we're here. But that is the running gag for this evening. Um, yeah. So let's. But here's something else I want to talk to you about. Right. So
Mhm.
I get some pretty big guests on my channel, and because
Yes.
the director of the Terrifier
Mhm.
is an independent film director, I thought it was worth reaching out to them and seeing if
Mm,
I could get them on.
okay.
And I spoke to someone initially who I thought was them because the Facebook page looked very official. I think I'm going to do a separate actual like anti-scam stream about this at some point. So Damien Leone is the guy who directed this, right?
Okay.
So this profile for anyone watching on Facebook is fake, and it's pretty interesting because like this profile is putting up all the same regular posts that all of his official sources are putting up. So probably using bots, I would imagine.
Mm.
But no director is going to put their actual phone number and email address on their Facebook profile. So for me, that was two big flags. The next big flag was they've put the Wikipedia meaning for film director, which I just thought, why would you put that on there? Like, everybody knows you're a director, surely. They don't need to look up what that means. So that was a bit odd. But when I looked at it first glance, and I searched it and I'd searched official and everything, because of the number of posts and all the stuff that this person had, I thought it might actually be them, or at least somebody who represented them. So I had a conversation with them on Messenger, and sure enough, they soon started saying, "Oh, yeah, join the membership thing, and you'll get meet and greets with me at conventions and all the rest of it." And I wrote back and said, "Look, I don't attend Comic-Cons and stuff like that. I don't have time. I work in the industry. It's a full-time job for me, and the Facebook that takes up a massive amount of time, and then the YouTube is a separate thing, which also, as you know, takes up a massive amount of time."
Yes, it does.
And they kept sort of circulating the conversation back round to, yeah, but if you pay this $150,
Oh boy.
that will mean I'll come on your podcast and all the rest of it.
No
And
way.
I said to them, "This is Damien Leone I'm talking to, right?" And they went, "Yes, Mr. Lance." And as soon as they called me Mr. Lance, I was like, "Oh yeah, okay, right, from some place in Taiwan or whatever." So I've reported this profile to Facebook. What I've also done is I've flagged it up to as many official sources for Damien Online as I can find, hoping that he will also see it and report it. But
Mhm.
the point is, there will be other people contacting this guy either
Oh,
via this number,
I'm
and
sure
that
they
is an
already have.
American number, I think, right? +1. That's an American number. Might Google that. Let's see if we can find out where that number is. And then there's there's an email address. If this person is hitting people up for $150 a pop each time, there's going to be some people that are going to fall for it, and this person is grifting a lot of money off people.
Yes.
Bad, isn't it?
Yeah, that's pretty rotten, but There, unfortunately, that's people have figured out how to game the system, and you know,
Yeah.
this is pretty awful. We're going to be encountering more of that, and even you and I will probably get somebody, trying to pretend. Already told you somebody tried to imitate me, my gym dating profile. I'm like, oh Lord,
Oh yeah.
just for dating. So like they can use anybody now. It can, pretend it's you. They can have you say all kinds of things that you don't, that you didn't say. Oh, join this program if you want to get closer, or private sessions with me, and we can hang out together. And then, this person pays into it and they get nothing. And so they come to, they'll come to our channels and say, hey, look, we paid for this. And we're like, oh, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
And so this is a, they did that with Mr. Beast and a couple other YouTube, and TikTok uh, celebrities. And not saying to put ourselves in that category, but we're we're in the public space now. Like as soon as you get on any of these platforms and you show your face, you're on these platforms, and you know technology is a benefit to us. We can do so many incredible things with it, but it's also something that people who are looking to scam people out of money
Yeah.
are using on a daily basis to hurt people, take their money. It's mostly to take their money, um, and yeah, that's pretty sad.
Well, I checked that phone number and it's a legit number and it's in Orange, New Jersey.
Mm,
Um,
let's
and
call them up.
I'm tempted, tempted to call them now while we're
No,
live.
don't. Yeah, I wouldn't. If anything, I would report the number because you don't know what they're. Um,
Yeah.
if you can report the number, because that's and that could put you at risk because now they have your phone number.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of crazy things people can do on phones,
Yeah.
as you've experienced.
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah.
Indeed. Yeah.
And
That
I
was
keep getting text messages from people like, hello. And I'm like, who are you?
yeah.
And I usually just block all of them.
Yeah. Basically don't say anything.
Every single one. Yeah. I know that you use WhatsApp, but WhatsApp is horrible because it was sending me notifications every 5 seconds, and then it was, like, groups of people or people I did not know that were sending me, solicitations, or they just were like, "Oh, yeah, hit this link and you can, get some free stuff. We saw your channel," and, it's like, ugh, no.
Yeah. Well, that makes sense.
Yeah. It's
I-
really tough now because a lot of people who used to get sponsorships this way, right, somebody sends you an email, somebody sends you a a text message and like, "Hey, we saw you on, this show or whatever, would like to work with you as a sponsor." You don't know if they're for real or not. You have no idea. So
Yeah.
it's put a lot of people in a compromising position where they don't even look at their emails to see if they have sponsorships anymore.
Well, I mean, it's because if you get an email from something you don't recognise, and even if it seems official now, we all just the kind of first assumption is that it's probably not official.
Yes, yes.
Um, and that's a really sad state of affairs. But unfortunately, it's the times we live in. I mean, look at my fantastic AI on my app. It knew everything about you, Retro.
Sure.
Gave us a complete breakdown of Retro's channel and how fab it is. Well, I know we're only going to be on for an hour, so I want to talk about this other movie that I haven't watched a trailer for it yet, but it's another First-time filmmaker. Well, when I say first time, this is the first time he's had a movie released in the cinema. A guy called Stephen Miller, and he's got this movie coming out. Are you a Frank Grillo fan? Do you like the Frank?
I don't know who that is.
I think he was in he was in the Punisher TV series. He was the Punisher.
Okay. I think I've seen him around. I've never actually watched any of his content.
Well, he's in this movie called Werewolves, which is directed
Ooh.
by this Stephen Miller guy.
Mm-hmm.
Should we have a look at the trailer?
Okay.
I might get copyright flagged, but it's all right. I'll cut it out later if that's the case. But hey, I'm trying to promote their movie, so you know.
Bite me!
You'd expect someone to say that in a werewolf film, wouldn't you? Bite me.
Definitely, or a vampire film.
Oh, why can't I get rid of this pause button? What's going on there? Stuck on the middle of the screen.
Oh, it's okay. Oh, I love howling wolves. Werewolves.
Mom?
Wolves and howling wolves.
Actually,
Yeah. And then,
let's see. Let's have a quick. I already shared this for this guy, and I've already invited him on to come on. I've not heard of Stephen Miller before, so he has directed stuff before, but this is the first time he's getting a cinema release. So he did Escape Plan 2, which I remember I saw that went straight to. Oh my god, he directed Submerged. No, is that the Steven Seagal one? Oh, maybe not. No, it's not. It's not. I thought that was the Steven Seagal submarine film. No, okay. I was going to say, my God, how did he survive that? Because I know three actors that were on that movie and the stories. Oh dear. So actually, so he's been directing since 2004.
oh, good for him.
Couple of TV
seasoned.
movies, and then a couple of sort of slightly bigger movies, and now this one looks pretty good. I mean, it's already trending a score on 7.3 on IMDb.
Oh, that's good.
It is good. So some people must have seen it and are rating it already. I guess I definitely want to watch this. It's got Katrina Law in it as well, so that's a win. Yeah, I haven't seen Lou Diamond Phillips in anything for quite a while.
I know, he looks great.
Yeah, I thought he looked pretty good. That's 33 scores
know.
there. A quick, it's a pretty good werewolf. Do you think the trailer showed too much?
No, actually, I like the trailer a lot. My only critique would be, I just did not like that one CGI moment.
Yeah.
That was just like, ugh. And some of the work looks pretty good. I mean, I think in action the sound effects sound great. It sounds like the sound of the werewolves. Ooh, sounds really great. I thought it was really interesting that he had sort of like this. They kind of set up the world a little bit for you, where we know it's not a secret or anything. We all know that there are werewolves out there, but it's sort of like the Purge, where they're kind of like, hey, we've got to lock everything down and survive if you can tonight.
Hey, look who's in the chat, Keith.
Oh, Keith E. Hello, Keithy. How are you today? So good to see you.
Retro and I just doing an impromptu stream, Keith.
Very, very impromptu.
Which definitely isn't about dating advice. Yeah, big fan of Katrina Law from Spartacus. They did some proper on location filming for
Wow,
this.
that is a lot of hard work
I mean,
there.
that's real. I think that's a real street. That's not a set, is it? That's a real.
Well, maybe I mean, it could have been possible that there was like 3 cars and then the rest they pulled from
CG.
other source, the background part, but I'd
yeah,
have to see everything in motion. Yeah. Like it looks like they had 3 cars and then the rest of it may have been
I don't know. There's real people down here.
Yeah, I mean, you can shoot like, or it looks like it might be 2 scenes that added into one, is what I'm saying.
Look at that Evil Dead T-shirt he's got on.
It's possible it could be one scene. If it is, it's still a lot of work either way. Oh, look at Lou Diamond Phillips. I'm telling you, he looks great.
I mean, you know, if someone's gonna make a good werewolf movie, if they're covered in tats and they've got a big beard, then
Oh yeah, he's
that's
qualified.
always, a good plug. Keith is saying, "Have you promoted Christine for tomorrow night? Maybe Lance will join you." What's Keith
Are
talking about?
you available tomorrow night? I mean, I would
Well,
love.
depends what time.
Oh no.
What are you doing with Chris? Oh, you mean Christine the movie? As in,
Yes,
oh my God. Well, my friend Keith Gordon plays Arnie in that.
I know. Come on, you should come on
Are you
tomorrow.
doing that tomorrow with Lorena?
No, she's I'm gonna meet up with her later on because she's doing other streams and things.
Right.
So yeah,
What
you know,
time? What time are you doing it?
it's gonna be
What time? What time
three
your time?
o'clock my time, I think. Let me just double check.
3 o'clock your time is 8 o'clock my time.
Let me double check it to make sure.
I think actually 9 o'clock. Sorry, 9 o'clock my time. Right.
Yes, 3 o'clock my
I'm
time.
afraid.
So
I'm afraid at that particular moment in time, I'll be doing this. Obviously, and I'll be just as sexy dancing like that. So,
Aw.
retro.
Oh,
Here's a funny.
well, did you wanna record something earlier? Maybe we can we'll have
Well,
like a small
I'm
little.
tomorrow. I'm at a day rave, and it starts at 12. I've got a friend who's had a leg operation, and I've got to go and meet
Oh,
him, help him walk down 4 flights of stairs, and get into a taxi so he can come to the pre-meet for the
mhm.
rave, and then I'm meeting a whole load of other people, and then I'm at the rave from midday until 10.
Gosh, you see, guys, I did try to get
Yeah, and
I
by the time
tried
I
to get
come
him
back,
first.
by the time I get home, it'll be at least 11 midnight. If you were doing it later, I'd be around.
I can't do it later, I'll be on Lorena Creole's
Oh,
channel.
yeah, that's right,
Yeah.
yeah.
But, I tell you what, why don't we have a discussion about it,
Uh,
um, on that private, recording that I said I wanted to do with you, so,
oh, yeah, we could do that.
yeah,
Um,
let
but
that
if
be
but but I
our
mean, if you've already talked about it, I don't know, you don't want 2 videos on your channel about
I
it?
want 50 videos on
Okay.
Christine. It's like one of my favorite movies
I
ever.
tell you what, why don't we do, for the recording, why don't we do this? Why don't we do, top 3 horror films prior to 1990?
Well, I'm already doing a
Oh,
series on
oh,
mine. It's actually much better if we focus on one because then we can do a deep dive on it.
alright, okay,
Yes, yes. Because
alright,
I
Christine
wanted to
part 2
see.
with Lance, no problem.
Yes, yes, because the watch party is just the watch party, and I'll talk about it and talk about my feelings about it. But then for the talk with us, we can get into like all of the little details, and you can tell us more behind the scenes stuff. You can call up Keith and say, "Hey, come on, do you want to be in this recording?"
Yeah. Well, that'll yeah, that's all doable. So here's the funny thing. So did you said you were watching some of the stream yesterday. Did
Yes.
you did you see the moment when the guy popped up in the chat and said, "Hey Lance, were you at a rave last Saturday?" And
Yeah,
um
yeah, I did see that part.
yeah, and he shot video of me dancing there. Yeah, I now have that video, incidentally.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
Let's see
not
your
for public
moves.
not for public consumption, but I
Oh,
might show you.
no.
No, I can show
Okay.
you, but there's
Yeah,
other
okay.
people in it that, when I show
Oh,
videos of
yes, yes.
people at the raves and stuff, I don't sort of, I'm conscious of people's privacy, so I'm conscious of not sort of showing people's faces and things like that in any detail or for very long. So this video, I would say, needs to be. If it, I know 3 people that are in it, and I haven't spoken to one of them yet. So until I speak to that person, it can't be shown publicly.
Okay.
So not worried about myself. This reminds me of District 9. Yeah, I
So
like this.
you know turning is illegal, so you have a choice to turn or not? Because I mean, I'm getting the idea that that once the moon, because they actually had, like, a picture a picture of
I
the
think
moon, and
yeah,
it
so
made people start turning. That's so funny.
there's obviously people that turn, and it's like so it's now illegal to be a werewolf. So we,
Yeah.
we'll come after you. So sounds like it's as much of a story about people coming after and hunting the werewolves as it
Mhm.
is. Yeah, I mean, I'm up for it. I mean, I'm all in. Sounds good to me.
Yeah, I love the shadow of that,
I think
the
that's a
silhouette.
reverse shot of the street we were just looking at. I think
Oh,
that's the
okay.
same street, but shooting the other way.
At night?
Yeah, it could be. Certainly looks like the
Interesting.
same location with the see
Yeah.
the pink building here. Let's go back to that other still and have a look. Bet that's the same location. It's the filmmaker in me coming out here. It looks like the same location to me. I think maybe could be that same street the other way
Yeah.
potentially.
I mean, I see a lot of CG work here,
Yeah, you never
which
know.
is cool, which is totally cool for a low budget film. You need to, especially if you're doing a strange, like a supernatural film or something like this, where the world seems to be much bigger than what they're probably capable of
I
shooting.
wonder what the
Right? I'm actually impressed with this, to be honest. So these
yeah, I've got
guys, they're impressing me.
no information on the budget at the moment.
Yeah.
Uh, it was originally called something else. Oh, it was called Year Two originally.
Ooh.
So I think that was on the basis of here we go. So the premise is this: a supermoon event triggers a gene
Ooh.
that every human being on the planet can transform into a werewolf on one specific night. So basically, on that
Ooh.
specific night, everybody can, if they want, transform into a werewolf. Cool. Clearly, some people thought it was cool to do that, while others arm themselves to the teeth, keep out the way of the moonlight, and um, prepare to defend themselves. So I quite like that as a premise. I think that's great.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, oh man, these people on Twitter. Sorry, I just always like suddenly see that someone's liked a comment, and I'm like, oh yeah, who's this? And it's always one of these, I've got an OnlyFans account, people, and my God, I've blocked like in the last 2 days, I've blocked like 20 of these, and
Well,
half
they
the time,
can't do anything to you, and
no, but I just don't want them. I don't want them like associated with my profile or anything like that. I just don't. And they're not real people anyway. They're not that I've got anything against people
hmm,
wanting to do that kind of thing, but I just don't want. There's one with the same photograph on it that's like hit me up like 10 times,
yeah.
and it's with 10 different profiles.
It's just
And you
bots at this
I mean,
point.
you can bet that they're down the road, they're connected to scammers somewhere because they're not
Yeah.
real people. So they're
No.
going to be there to try and rip money off people somewhere. I'd just rather just block them all,
Yeah.
keep them off my doorstep, so to speak. Big broom, sweeping them away. So, are you doing anything for Halloween? Is retro like dressing up in a witch's hat or something? What's up?
Where's
What's going on?
well, for my last uh I might do a costume for my last um retro nerd girl watch party. Let me see what day that was. Is that the 26th? Yeah, on the
I, I
26th.
I
I
bought a
might
cool Halloween outfit today. I'll show you it when we go off air.
well, I have to get going. I'm
Yeah, I'm
sorry
gonna.
to say, like
No, I know.
right now. I've got food cooking in the kitchen, and
We're gonna wrap this up now. Because I did say it would only be an
oh,
hour.
Gary's here. Oh my God, how are
He is
you? I
Gary
was saying,
Bando Sandwich Worthington, who I think first time I saw him was in Lorenya's chat. When I first started following Lorenya, I think.
uh-huh, uh-huh.
I like Silver Bullet. Silver Bullet's a very underrated
Also, oh, do you guys remember the Sunday brunch
with
right? With
with
RM.
yeah, sure, of course.
Yes.
I was
Oh
on
my
it.
god.
I
Yes, she's so I miss her so much.
I did about
Um,
4 of those
mhm,
when Russell couldn't make it.
mhm.
Um, and then I was on one of them, the 3 of us were on together
Oh, that's
a couple
yeah.
of times.
Good times, good times.
Yeah, yeah, no, I still oh my god, no, do you know what? I was gonna say I still have her contact number and occasionally I call her. I
Mhm.
don't anymore because that was one of the numbers I would have lost.
Oh, that's
So,
sad.
unless she's still on Twitter, wouldn't have a way to get hold of her. So just let her know that my number's gone if you would, if you're in touch with her.
Okay, yes. I'll send her a text message to let her know that.
All right, so we're gonna wrap up there, guys. This is a bit of an impromptu stream. Retro's got
This
another
was
thing
so
to do.
much
It was
fun.
fun.
Oh,
Um,
Wormy Spoon says, "I remember Silver Bullet." That's such a favorite of mine.
I just said that. I just said it's a massively underrated film. Yeah,
Oh, it's so good.
yeah,
I love it. I did
massively
a
underrated.
review for it, so if anybody wants to see that review, go on ahead and check my channel out.
That's another film that like it's one of the few sort of Canon made a handful of really good films in their
Yes,
day,
yes.
and that one is one of the ones that's really strong. I can think of 4 or 5 that are really strong. Plus, you know, a
Mhm.
few guilty pleasures like Invasion USA. Um, but yeah, yes, so indeed. Anyway, so guys, we're going to jump off. Don't forget, I'm going to be back on Sunday.
Okay,
Hopefully not too hungover. Where we're going to be doing the Shield, um, breaking
okay.
down breaking down the show, talking about the episodes. It's a really good stream. We really get into it. We really do a deep dive. So if you haven't seen it before, it's this Retro. I know you've got to go soon, but try and hang around so I can show you that funny video. Uh,
Okay.
but for everybody else, catch this on Sunday, and we'll see you soon.
I'm a different kind of cop. We knock down the doors other cops don't want to. Taking fire from every scumbag in town.
They didn't earn it. I don't feel bad about taking it.
All about bringing force down on the street. Why don't y'all take a look at what you got going on under your own roof?
I never put the money above us.
How long you think that's gonna last?
I don't want Vic in our lives anymore.
You're investigating me? Vic Mackey beats suspects. He deals drugs.
And that's just all in one day.
I wonder what he's gonna do tomorrow. Everybody down!
Hey, my day's just getting started.